Todesfuge. Schwarze Milch der Frühe, wir trinken sie abends, wir trinken sie mittags und morgens, wir trinken sie nachts, wir trinken und trinken. Wir schaufeln ein Grab in den Lüften, da liegt man nicht eng. Ein Mann wohnt im Haus, der spielt mit den Schlangen, der schreibt, denn es dunkelt nach Deutschland, dein goldenes Haar, Margarete. Er schreibt es und tritt vor das Haus und es blitzen die Sterne, er pfeift seine Rüden herbei, er pfeift seine Juden hervor, lässt schaufeln ein Grab in der Erde. Er befiehlt uns, spielt auf nun zum Tanz. Schwarze Milch der Frühe, wir trinken dich nachts, wir trinken dich morgens und mittags, wir trinken dich abends, wir trinken und trinken. Ein Mann wohnt im Haus und spielt mit den Schlangen, der schreibt, wenn es dunkelt nach Deutschland, dein goldenes Haar, Margarete, dein aschenes Haar, Sulamit. Wir schaufeln ein Grab in den Lüften, da liegt man nicht eng. Er ruft, stecht tiefer ins Erdreich, ihr anderen singet und spielt. Er greift nach dem Eisen im Gurt, er schwingt, seine Augen sind blau. Er stecht tiefer die Spaten ihr ein, die anderen spielt weiter zum Tanz auf. Schwarze Milch der Frühe, wir trinken dich nachts, wir trinken dich mittags und morgens, wir trinken dich abends, wir trinken und trinken. Ein Mann wohnt im Haus, dein goldenes Haar, Margarete, dein aschenes Haar, Sulamit, er spielt mit den Schlangen. Er ruft, spielt süßer den Tod, der Tod ist ein Meister aus Deutschland. Er ruft, streicht dunkler die Geigen, dann steigt ihr als Rauch in die Luft. Dann habt ihr ein Grab in den Wolken, da liegt man nicht eng. Schwarze Milch der Frühe, wir trinken dich nachts, wir trinken dich mittags. Der Tod ist ein Meister aus Deutschland, wir trinken dich abends und morgens, wir trinken und trinken. Der Tod ist ein Meister aus Deutschland, sein Auge ist blau. Er trifft dich mit bleinerner Kugel, er trifft dich genau. Ein Mann wohnt im Haus, dein goldenes Haar, Margarete. Er hetzt seine Rüden auf uns, er schenkt uns ein Grab in der Luft. Er spielt mit den Schlangen und träumet, der Tod ist ein Meister aus Deutschland. Dein goldenes Haar, Margarete, dein aschenes Haar, Sulamit. A most remarkable poem for various reasons, but I'm afraid that the author himself, having heard him reciting it in his way, did not really understand that and why he had created an outstanding poem, an outstanding text. No question that any conceivable cruelty, meanness, crime, torture did happen and will happen. Yet, what had been committed by the Nazis, an industrialized murder of the Jews and other minorities, Roma, communists, disabled persons, homosexuals, is even beyond that. You can look at pictures from the liberated concentration camps, see the emaciated bodies, you can visit the Wannsee villa, go through numbers of murdered, but the total of the Holocaust rests beyond comprehension, beyond words. Yet, this poem, to my understanding, overcomes this impossibility to some extent. I would even say that it marks a faint success in understanding, or better, coming near an understanding of something incomprehensible. This forms the attraction it exerted on me since I read it for the first time a long time ago, earlier than 1967, when I made this new interpretation. To put it clearly, I think it is nearly the sole way to talk about this colossal crime unparalleled in history of mankind. The attraction of Paul Celan, viewed the whole of his poetical works, is ambivalent to me. The gloomy, dark speech, sometimes even touching pathetic, pompous slips of the pen, but here it is self-consistent. Anyway, this outstanding work prompted me into trying a graphic interpretation, including craft means from my work as a goldsmith. The abstract title, the caps of the transparent tube, the handle of the unusual binding of the sheets of text and illustrations. There is an increasing pace, a breathlessness throughout the entire poem, and a repetition of the chorus-like first lines corroborates this impression. Of course, I know that fuga is a musical form, but here taking the word literally as a sharp gap fits my concept well. So I translated this into increasing black. The refrain is one wood-carved stock, The rest of the text is printed character by character. I carved this alphabet just for this work. This carved stock occurs increasingly, 1, 2, 3 times in the flow of the text, and puts a full stop at the end. Well, a little detour. Throughout my biography, I came to mistrust more and more big words, big deeds, big sentences. Simple statements had my sympathy. The physician in one of Albert Camus' books states at one time, at one point, the only thing that matters is to do one's work properly. Well, Celan did this, good work, excellent poem, published at the right time, first in 1952. So let us have a look. The cover of the velvet sleeve, corresponding to a dust jacket of books, closed by a leather string, protects the soft acrylic glass. The caps of the acrylic glass tubes bear some decorative means, as one sees in old metal books. The upper one has an edged ornament, the lower edged part tinned, the grey of the tin neatly matching the red copper, and the lower one decorated by just 5 lines. The upper one allows the opening of the tube, fixed by an asymmetric bayonet catch, and both caps have an interior ring which holds the rolled sheets centrally. I did not choose a title in words, but an abstract one in silver and black iron. Both materials apt in their sharp contrast, and at the same time, the forms, heralding the abstract illustration going with and interrupting the flow of the text. The sheets of the text and illustrations of rather large measures, they are 94 by 60 centimeters, are bound like newspapers in, let us say, Vienna cafes, and rolled around the 2 mahogany strips of wood between which the 8 sheets of Japan paper are screwed. There are 3 leather rings to keep the rolled sheets together so that the susceptible paper will not be damaged when taken out of the tube. The way of binding like a newspaper reflects the never-ending actuality and at the same time thus rooted in everyday life, of which it should remain apart. Apart from the beauty of the poem itself. So it should remain apart, it should be reread, reconsidered, as an endless reminder we cannot and should never flee. And the tube which harbors the whole work is transparent.